The Progress Out of Poverty Index, or PPI, is a poverty measurement tool for organizations and businesses with a mission to serve the poor. With the PPI, organizations can identify the customers, clients, and employees who are most likely to be poor or vulnerable to poverty. Why measure poverty? Your organization may operate in a highly impoverished area, but without objective poverty data on the households you reach, social performance management will rely on assumptions. Organizations that collect poverty data from all or a statistically significant sample of households are able to measure their poverty outreach, or the portion of customers, clients, and employees who live below the poverty line or are vulnerable to becoming poor. They can assess the performance of the intervention among the poor and the poorest, and they can track poverty levels over time. With these data, management staff can make informed, strategic decisions and can provide stakeholders with objective evidence that the organization is reaching the poor and those vulnerable to poverty. How does the PPI work? Unlike other poverty measurement methods, the PPI was designed with the budgets and operations of real organizations in mind. Its simplicity means that it requires fewer resources to use. The PPI is a set of 10 easy-to-answer questions that a household member can answer in 5 to 10 minutes. The answers are scored to provide the likelihood that the survey respondent's household is living below the national poverty line or internationally recognized poverty lines. The PPI is country-specific. There are PPIs for 45 countries, and a similar poverty scorecard with a different creation methodology exists for use in China. Altogether, Grameen Foundation offers poverty measurement tools for the countries that are home to 90% of the people in the world who live on less than $1.25 per day. Here's an example of how the PPI works. The mission of a certain organization is to provide discounted vocational training to Colombia's poorest citizens. The organization uses the PPI for Colombia to determine if they are, in fact, recruiting clients who live below the poverty line. The organization administers the survey to one client, and that client receives a score of 30. According to the lookup table for the PPI for Colombia, that client's household has a 42.6% likelihood of living below the $2.50 per day poverty line. After surveying a statistically significant sample of clients, management discovers that the average likelihood of clients living below the $2.50 per day poverty line is 55.5%. Therefore, the organization concludes that 55.5% of its clients are living below the $2.50 per day poverty line. The PPI was first developed for microfinance institutions, which make up 71% of PPI users. However, there is nothing microfinance specific about the PPI. The PPI can be used by any business, nonprofit, multilateral, or government program that works directly with the world's poor and meets the following criteria. The organization has operations in one or more of the 45 countries where a PPI has been developed. The organization is able to conduct a survey with at least a representative sample of its client base, and the organization must be able to manage client information. Grameen Foundation can help you decide if your organization is ready to pilot the PPI and begin achieving a deeper understanding of your clientele. To learn more, visit www.progressoutofpoverty.org.